Greetings aspirants. Today let's talk about another concept from the subject Environment and Ecology, that is water pollution. In first place, what is pollution? Pollution is the addition of unwanted substances in concentrations that has adverse effect on both the environment and the organisms. Right. Now the agents which are the source of this pollution are called pollutants. Now there are various types of pollutions like the air pollution, the land or the soil pollution, the water pollution, the noise pollution, etc. Today we are going to look at what is water pollution. Water pollution can be Water pollution can be defined as addition of undesirable substances in water that causes water pollution. There are different sources for the water pollution like the natural sources and the human made sources. The natural sources are caused by soil erosion or leaking of minerals from the rocks and decaying of organic matter, which when dissolved or discharged into a water body can pollute the water body and the water becomes contaminated. And let's also see the human made sources. For example, we can see the domestic sewage that is discharged into rivers in the areas that is located at its banks. The domestic sewage, like the water that we have used for bathing or cleaning utensils or washing the clothes, when they are mixed with surfactants or dissolved with soaps and other materials, and when they are discharged into water, they tend to pollute the water bodies. Later, industrial waste effluents. We know that effluents like vinyl chloride, when discharged in Minamata Bay, has caused mercury poisoning in humans. So, these effluents from the industries which contain high concentrations of oil, heavy metals and detergents, they tend to pollute the water bodies and hence affect the organisms and also the environment. Moving on, let's see how minerals, organic waste and crop dusting from the agricultural fields, how do they affect the aquatic ecosystem. When agricultural fields runoff is discharged into any water body, they tend to bring phosphate and nitrogen nutrients that are mostly used in the fertilizers. And due to this, there is a possibility of eutrophication. What is eutrophication? When the nutrients like nitrates and phosphates, when they mix with the water, the water becomes nutrient rich and hence helps in the growth of the plant organisms or the algae in the water body. When these algae tend to grow on the surface of the water, they block the sunlight, which becomes a barrier. They block the sunlight for the other organisms living under the seawater, and slowly this destroys the aquatic ecosystem. Chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, herbicides and plant remains also tend to pollute these water bodies. And disposal of urban and industrial waste matter into the water bodies, we have seen earlier, also tend to create disturbances in human health and also the aquatic ecosystems. Moving on, let's see how industrial wastewater containing several pollutants like calcium, magnesium, chlorides, sulfide carbonates, nitrates, heavy metals and radioactive material from the nuclear reactors, when they tend to pollute the water, we can see that they cause various health hazards in humans, and also they tend to kill the aquatic animals, creating a major imbalance in the aquatic ecosystem. they create a major imbalance in the aquatic ecosystems. And also excretory wastes of humans and animals. Moving on, let's see what are the effects of water pollution. Water pollution have adversely affected the fish and other aquatic life. We can see in this picture how a broken fishing net has been harming the aquatic life in this picture. And also the presence of acids or alkalis in water destroys the microorganisms in the water because it changes the pH of the water, and the food producing algae are very sensitive to the changes in the pH of the water, and hence the whole food chain gets disturbed in an aquatic ecosystem. So this also, the water pollution also causes severe health hazards like cholera, tuberculosis, jaundice, dysentery, typhoid and diarrhea in human beings. There are also more effects like water pollution also leads to decrease in agricultural production. The pollutants tend to stunt the growth of the plants, and also it affects the reproduction of the plants. The use of contaminants with salts increases the alkalinity in the soil, and hence the organisms that live in soil also gets affected. And the oil spills. What are oil spills? Oil spills are the crude oil spillage in the water bodies. When crude oil is transported from one place to another, there could be some leakages, and when this oil is leaked into the water body, they do not dissolve with the water, and they tend to affect very severely in the aquatic bodies. You can see that in this picture, the whole body of this bird is covered with the oil, and the same happened with the turtles in the Sundarbans. So these oil spills have affected very adversely the aquatic life, and hence they needed much more regulation. So today we have discussed what is water pollution, the sources of water pollution and the effects of water pollution. Thank you.